Hello, everyone, or whoever's there. I am live Thursday, the 16th of April. Just wanting to come on and talk about more ideas around how we can manage ourselves in this time while we're all on lockdown. So we know that we're waiting for the news today to say that we are going to be another 3 weeks, it looks like. So we need to get focused on how we're going to manage ourselves and our time. So I just thought I'd come on again. Last week we talked about how we will be in some sort of stress, how our minds will be absolutely 100% in panic. We looked at all sorts of different reasons why our minds are going to be in panic, and then a little bit about what we could do with it. I also set everyone the task of thinking about something that they really, really wanted to achieve at the end of this time, so that you don't look back at this time and think, I didn't actually manage to do anything that I wanted to do. Because we can often do that with time, can't we? We can often not use it well and look back and think, I could have done something so much better with my time. So this is an opportunity to really think about what is it that you want to do so that you can look back at this time and think, I did make good use of it and try something new. So we are, as ever, being told to stay home, to only go out for specific things. So I'm just thought I would come on now and think about how we need to see this time as a different period in your life and in all our lives, and how that it's not all bad. I think if we continue to see it as all bad, we will get more and more stressed, more and more low, more and more anxious. We have to try and turn it round and see that it's a time, a different time, I think is how I'm trying to see it. So I thought I'd share with you some ideas again for what we need to be doing. Some of them are very obvious, but obviously some of them we just need to be reminded, don't we? And I think the first one that's absolutely key to what's going on for us all here now is to stay connected with each other, to talk. We can't see each other, but what we can do is talk to each other. But I think the thing that I'm conscious of is that a lot of people are finding themselves talking about the fears, about the problems. And while that's normal and natural, what I'm conscious of is we're often winding ourselves and winding each other up by just talking about the fears all the time. I'm just noticing a few people are coming on, so I'm just going to say hi, Liz. So yeah, I think it's really important that we do talk, but we're not just talking about the problem. I think it's going to be good for us to start to really talk about sharing the good news stories. And I'm going to try and encourage that on here. I really want to hear from people around their good news stories, whether that's something they've seen in the news and that we need to all share it, or whether that's something that people have just heard locally or something for themselves. I really think we've got to focus on these good news stories so that we feel better, because the news is the news, and I think it's important that we just think about this different. I'm keen to be part of the solution, so I'm hoping that you're all going to be the same too. I think something else that we need to think about is focusing on the things that you can control. So something else that I think is important is, what is it that you can control? We can't control the bigger picture, but what is it that you can control? You can control your exercise and what you do there. You can control your food and having a good balanced diet. You can control your achievements of each day. And you can control what sort of distractions you get involved in. But what else can you control? Because if you focus on the things that you can control, you'll feel like you're productive, your mind will feel more settled, and you will feel happier. If you focus on the things you can't control, you're going to feel worried, you're going to feel anxious, you're going to feel. So one of my strategies today for you all is to think about the things that are in your control and to focus on those. The next thing is to think about avoiding speculation. Rumours absolutely fuel anxiety. So we either need to look for trusted, reputable resources and sources of information, which then makes us feel in control, makes us feel, again, like we are able to have some level of control. So making sure that we are not winding each other up and not reading stuff that is probably not reputable is really important here. I think something else that we need to think about is to try and not jump to assumptions. I shared, I think, last time that we will be quite quick to judge each other, judge people about what they're doing. Avoiding jumping to conclusions. You know, when we're in a supermarket, what you know about the brain when it's feeling anxious is you're usually focused on kind of one thing at a time when the mind is anxious. So one thing at a time means we're probably just going to be focused on the shopping, which means we're not going to be as good at remembering that we're supposed to be doing social distancing. So we know it's happening. I'm seeing it. You're probably seeing it. But I think the thing that I'm keen for people to do is to not kind of blame and have that anger towards each other, because we are all in this together. And I think what we need to focus on is trying to keep ourselves safe. And if you get wound up by what other people are doing, you will find that you will, obviously, you won't feel as good yourself. So try not to judge others. I know it's hard. I know there's lots of people out there who aren't doing the right things. And I've seen people's stories about people who are really frustrated with each other or frustrated with strangers doing stupid things. We can have a view on it, but I think we need to be careful that we don't get ourselves wound up by their behaviour, because people will do what they're doing, and we will only be affected negatively if we allow that to affect us. And also not looking for blaming, who's responsible, trying to look out for who's responsible for all this. It's just not going to work for people. So another little thought I had is to watch out and manage well your exposure to the news. We need to find a balance. I've heard quite a few people recently saying they're now realising that it wasn't working for them, so they're now going to work less. Listen less to the news. When you start to realise that the impact of the news constantly is negative, then obviously we need to be careful, because we're not able to make sense of it from the mind's perspective. Turning off that 24-hour news on your phone might be a good strategy to feel calmer in yourself, because every time you're reading the news, you are fueling that part of you. And as I said earlier, I think something that we all need to do is to spend time looking at the good news stories. The mind will love that much, much better. I think something else to think about is if you've got children, it's how you're going to involve them in the plan for good health, for good emotional health. How are you going to talk about it? What kind of exposure are you going to give the children? How are you going to explain things? Making sure that you're talking about what's happening as much as what the solutions within your own families are is also key. And I think the only other thing that I said last time, and I still want to say it again because it's so important, is it's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. This is a very difficult and unusual time. We will have our low times and our anxious times. Some of them will come in waves. Some of them will come, I've had them myself. But I think it's about acknowledging the feeling that you've got, not trying to beat yourself up because you've got that feeling, but also just to notice that you've got the feeling, and then by acknowledging it, you can probably distract yourself. Go and pick up the phone, go and speak to somebody, go and do something nice, get out into the garden and this lovely sunshine that we've got. So I think being able to acknowledge that you're feeling the feelings that you've got is really, really important. So I'm still learning how to use this thing, and I'm just not knowing how to see if anybody is making any comments. So forgive me if I'm trying to do two things at once, but hopefully there are people out there listening to this and being able to, what have I done? I've done something wrong, haven't I? Hold on, everybody. Sorry if I did something wrong there, I do apologise. Trying to do two things at once isn't good. So my main plan for us all today is that we need to see this time as a different period of our lives. We need to think about the rhythm and the pace, because for a lot of people the pace has changed. Obviously for those that are working in the acute, the pace hasn't changed at all. But I think we need to think about the pace. And what I'm interested in sharing with you today is something that is called a rhythm register. And the idea is that you decide what activities you want to have going on for the week. Some of them will be daily, some of them will be twice a week, some of them will be weekly. And you write them on a piece of paper, all down one side. So you might want to go for a walk every day, but you might want to do yoga once a week. And you put Monday to Sunday and you tick when you've done the activity. And the idea is that you create a rhythm for the things that you want to achieve in each day, in each week. So you can look at the end of each day and think, yep, I've done really well. Or you can actually look and think, I haven't done what I set out to do. And it could be as simple as drinking water, as I say, obviously exercising, reading a book, having some sort of structure, especially for those who are now not working, creating some sort of structure for everybody. And then, like I say, have a piece of paper and you tick, and your mind will love to tick, to feel that sense of achievement that you did do that. And then obviously if you feel you've noticed that you're not feeling as good, you can look back and notice that you didn't put your ticks in the box, which means you won't have done what you set out to do. So obviously it goes without saying you're not going to feel as good. So I'm hoping that this rhythm register, and if anybody would like a copy, I've got literally a template which just has activities down the left hand side and Monday and boxes with Monday to Sunday in, and you print them out, write what you want to have on them, and then, like I say, the idea is that you get a rhythm. And once you start getting a rhythm and some sort of momentum, then you are able to feel pleased with yourself, and it turns into a habit. It takes a while to do that, but let's face it, we've all got some different time. So I'm hoping that being able to use this time more usefully, create a rhythm in new things. Hopefully we'll all get fitter through this process. We've got opportunities to be able to read more, to be able to watch some really positive stuff out there online, and be able to look back on this time and think, yep, I'm really pleased that even though it was awful, and even though we don't really know what life is going to be like the other side, I feel that I'm able to be pleased for myself. And I feel that that's part of us being part of the solution, by us all individually taking responsibility and being able to do our bit for ourselves. And obviously that's secondary to being able to offer support to others if you are able to do that. So I hope that has been a little snippet again of something to use as a strategy. I need to learn how to use this more because I can't read and film to be able to see what people are saying. I can see that Christine is in the garden. Hi Christine, and I've said hi to Liz. I'm not sure, I think Joanne might also be there. So anyway, I hope you found it useful. Please let me know. I love feedback. I love to know if it was useful, and also if there's any particular topics that you want me to talk about. I'm going to do one of these every Thursday at 5 for about 20 minutes, but I'm also happy to do them more often if people find them useful. So I think we have to be creative with our time. I'm happy to share any skills, strategies, tools that we've got to manage the mind so that we can feel like we can come out the other side feeling emotionally, mentally intact. So I wish you all well as we continue this lockdown, and I will see hopefully some more people next week, next Thursday again. All right, so thank you very much for those that have listened. Thank you for those that listen after and you follow the video, and please share this. I really want to be able to help people in any way that I can, so please share this video with your friends or people that you know are struggling, and I will wish you well. So thanks very much for coming today, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.